In this video, I'm going to show you step by step how you can create your very own event calendar for everyone that's involved in your family. Everyone can chip in and everyone can get daily reminders for everything that's coming up during the week. This is something I'm utilizing in my personal life right now. I actually created this specifically for my parents who are in their mid 80s, so they forget everything constantly. And it drives me insane. I'm not here to say that I'm any better with my memory because I'm not. But if you know someone, maybe yourself or someone in your family that has really bad memory, maybe they're super popular, super famous, they need to be reminded of things coming up during the week, this is for you. So watch to the very end because I'll walk you through everything step by step and you can build this out right along with me. So I know there's other people out there that will say that you can use Siri for this, which is true, but that's only meant for one person. But this automation is meant for everybody. So in my family directly, there's about 10 of us. There's myself, my parents, my brothers, my aunts, my uncles. We all chip in. We all put in our events into a centralized calendar, and we all get reminders each and every single day for anything that's coming up during the week. So if this type of content you like to watch, my name is Palmer Joseph. I've been building out n8n automation for a while now. I don't know how long. I absolutely love it. And I really hope that you can follow along because this is something that will help you become more of an asset in the workplace and just in life in general. So if you'd like that kind of stuff, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button because that helps me out a lot and lets me know that I keep on making these contents for you guys. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. All right, so this is the entire automation in itself. I just want to tell you right now that this is not actually production live for my family because this is a slimmed down version of it. What it actually looks like when it's actually live for my family right now is something like this. As you can see, there's a lot of us. Like I said, there's 10 of us all inputting events into a centralized calendar. We can do it through Telegram, through either text or speech, or we can all email it into a centralized Gmail account and it all gets ingested into an information extractor, takes all that into a calendar event, and then we get emails and responses to Telegram. But that is in general how it looks like. So this is a slimmed down version of it. You can copy and paste this as much as you want. You can change it in whatever way you want. But let me do a quick demo just to show you what this actually looks like. So let me just do a quick execute workflow, pull up my Telegram, gets fed through. Since this is text, it goes down this branch, it gets into the information extractor, pulls out whatever relevant information there is, goes into my calendar agent, creates an event, sends an email, and then tells me a response. So what that actually looks like through my Telegram is that your dentist appointment for your dad has been scheduled for tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Let's pull this up. We got email as well, just confirm the exact same thing. No one actually checks this email, by the way. It's just everything gets fed through there, but in case you want to see it, that's what it looks like. And then in here, it all gets put into right there. Okay, so I did a couple test runs just to make sure it's working, but that's actually what it looks like. Now, you can actually do different ones where you can actually delete this. So let's do it again. Pull up my Telegram. Send that through. I'm not doing it through voice because I'm using my iPhone to record this, but you get the idea. You can do it through voice or do it through text. It's the exact same thing. Come back into the email, refresh this. There we go. Has been successfully canceled. We can double check that in calendar. It is gone, right? I'll just keep those there just for example purposes, but also let's do a quick demo with the daily events reminder. So we can do it every single day. I set this up for 9 a.m. every single day because that's when my parents chose it. It's code node. Let's just feed it through. Checks for events in the calendar. If there's any, it goes up this branch. If there ain't any, it goes down that branch. But since there is, it goes down through here, gets a Telegram message. Oops. That is to my parents' Telegram. I should do that to mine. Done. And then email as a confirmation. And what that looks like is right here. Event summary. This is what it all looks like. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? Just to show you what actually comes together. And those are the two events for that day. So you can actually expand this even further. You can add in yourself. You can add in your family members. You can add in whoever you want. You can do the exact same thing with Telegram. And again, like I said, this is actually fed in multiple different ways, and you can actually extend this out even further to have everyone involved. So let's break down the walkthrough, and I'll show you how to build this out yourself. It's super simple, and you can do it all right now. It only takes like 20 minutes. So let's zoom in really quick. So it all starts with, obviously, a Telegram message, okay? You need to have your credentials set up. If you don't know how to do that, then watch this quick video. It walks you through the entire step, everything step by step in about 4 minutes. So you can follow it through, and you can also do it for yourself. So once you have that done, that is your test trigger or your test trigger node. This code node right here is actually something I learned from another YouTuber, basically saying that everything that you put into Telegram, everyone else can see it in the world. So this code node actually like anonymizes everything, so no one else can see it. Just copy the code if you want. And for the ID here, that's from your Telegram, and how you can get that, again, watch that video. But you can go into Telegram, let's set up, go into the search, type in get ID bot, which is right there. Type in /start, and you get your Telegram ID. And when you get that, you paste it in there, and you are done. That is basically it. Okay. Next step is the switch node. So how you get that is you click on the plus sign, switch, type that in. Everything is exactly the same. But once you have that done, the rules are super simple. Actually, let me just push this through by setting up an actual event so you see it come together. Give me a second. Okay, now we have something inside our Telegram, which is basically what just typed out right there. Cool. Let's run the code node. We push the information into the switch. Since this is looking for either a voice or text, you have to get this. It's a variable, and how you can get this is simply by dragging this in. Actually, I like to use schema. Pull this in, drop it in there. It's the exact same thing. And I'm just going to delete that because it's the exact same variable. So this is to push it through if it's a text message. If it is a voice, you can copy this right here. And it's basically going to be a Telegram message or a Telegram voice. It'll say MIME type. You drag that in. It's basically super simple, right? So I'm just going to execute the workflow. It's the exact same thing. It went down to text branch. This is a set node, basically just to make sure that it comes out as text, because we want the information extractor to understand that if it's a voice, it comes through as a text. So we want to make sure it comes out as text as well. So you can just copy this as well. Type in text, make sure it's a string, take in the text from there, drag that in, and you are basically good to go, right? Let me just delete that. Once that's done, let's play that through. It goes into the information extractor. In your information extractor, you want to make sure you give it the text that it's actually trying to look for, which is going to be in your set text node, which is going to be this one. You can drag it in right there. It's exactly the same as you see right now, but just to give you a better understanding where you can actually pull that from. I got it mixed up with this other set node, but that is for a different person. That is for my parents. So this is for myself, which actually has the information that I required. So I drag that in, put that there. Then you can add in attributes. Okay, I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but you can understand what it's doing right now, and we're just telling it how to extract information. So the first attribute I gave it was obviously a date, which is going to be a string, okay, because there's going to be dashes and all that kind of stuff. In the description, I said extract the date of the event, because there's obviously going to be a date for every single event out there. I put it as required. Same with the time, I created another attribute for the time. So also a string. This time, I've made it as an expression. Extract the time and the duration of the event if it is so required. Then there's a final reminder, just to let it know, because if you don't put this in here, which is the curly brackets with the $ now, the AI agent will not know what date and time it is. So it'll probably just hallucinate and put it into some random day, random time, somewhere in your calendar that doesn't exist. So you have to make sure that you tell it that the current date and time is double curly braces, $ now, and that is what it is. Put it as required. Location is not required because sometimes it's just an event. So I put it as not required, but it's also a string. Extract the location of the event, including the full address, if it is there, because sometimes it won't be. Maybe it's just a dinner event that everyone knows where the address is, so there's no location required there. Super simple. The purpose, obviously every single event will have a purpose, so we have to make this required. It's also a string. Extract the purpose of the event. Instructions, if there is any. Extract the instructions about the appointment, if there is any. Maybe it's a doctor's appointment and you want to say that they have to bring in their medical cards, their driver's license, their, I don't know, whatever reports they're required to bring in. That's only there if it is part of it, but this is not required. And if it's not required and you can't find any purpose for an event, just output not provided, which is fine. Attendees, this is also not required because sometimes there may not be anyone else involved, so let's not put that in there. This is not required. If you can't find the purpose or event, if you can't find the attendees, gotta fix that. Attendees of the event, output not provided. Lastly, if they ask for an update, because this is a way for the information extractor to understand whether or not there's anything to update, maybe they want to change an event to another time, another date, this just specifies what to do. This is also a string. I put this as required. Extract whether or not the user is requesting to update or change an existing event. If the user is requesting to update or change an existing event, do not create a new event, because I've been finding that every time I ask it to change an event, it creates it, but it doesn't change the other one. It just keeps it in the same schedule. So this actually alleviates that and fixes it. But that is basically it. So let's execute that real quick. This is what it looks like. The output is a date, time, dinner plans with friends. It's not an update because we're creating a new event, right? So that is what it is. For the brain, I use a 4.1 mini. You can choose whichever way you want. You can do 4.0 mini if you want to, but this is what I found best to work. Let's move over to the Ultimate Assistant. And how I can do this is obviously just type in AI agent and you put that in there, which is right there. But I'll delete that. And just to let you know how to get this thing, is you can just type in Extractor and it's right there. And you can just fill it in just as I told you right now. Okay. For this AI agent, also, I have created the same brain, which is shared with the information extractor. So it's perfectly fine. I made four different tools. There's one for create event, delete event, get event, and update event, all with Google Calendar. So let's go into that really quick. Once you're in here, it starts off as default as a connected chat trigger node, which is not right. So we have to use define below. And here we have to take the output from the information extractor because it's the previous node to this. You just click this, hover, and drag it over, and it's the exact same output. So I'm just going to delete that because that is completely useless to have it twice. Because now this is what it sees. That's what the AI agent will see. Now, system message is pretty important. This is actually the best way I can sum it up. So if you want to pause the video right now, you can copy this as well. But if you want this entire workflow right now with the JSON file, so you can just copy and paste it to your own n8n instance, all you got to do is click under the link in the description below. You can get it in my free community and you can just join there and you can have this entire thing built out for you right away. So you can just not waste time and it's all there for you. So with that being said, this is my expression, this is my description. My overview is your personal assistant handling events and emails. If there's no attendees being specified, continue creating an event without an attendee. Again, I've been testing this out a lot. Every time if there's no attendee brought in, it just gets confused and it breaks. So I just want to tell it what to do. If there's no one specified in there, continue on. All right. Tools, create event, use this tool to create events, get events. Make sure that the names are properly correct, even if it's plural. So if it says get event, it's going to hallucinate and do all kinds of weird shit. So make sure you use the exact same one. What I mean by that is if we come back out, create event, not plural, delete events, plural, get events, plural, update events, plural. So I did exact same thing in the description below for the tools, singular, plural, plural. Okay. Now, also plural. So if it's get events, use this tool to get the events from the calendar. Delete events, use this tool to delete events. Use get events first before deleting because it needs to know what to do if it's getting an event or else it won't know what event to delete. Same thing goes with updating the event, right? Final reminders. I need to let it know that to sign off emails, if it is sending emails, because it is, I want to sign off as Love Palmer AI, and that's just what I wanted it to say. If you want to change to whatever it is that you want to do, go for it. Also, as a final reminder that this is the current date and time. So with the two double curly braces, the $sign now, just to let it know this is the current date and time. So it doesn't make up some weird date. Okay. Now let's go into each one of these specifically. Now we're talking about the Google Calendar. So I have this connected to my parents because this is all in combination to them. This is their centralized calendar for our entire family. So have that set up right now. If you have no credentials for Google, watch this quick video. It'll walk you through step by step how to connect your Gmail, everything that's Google related into n8n. It's 4 minutes long. It's super simple. But once you have that done, everything here is the same. Tool description is set automatically. Resources event, operation is create. From the list, you can choose whatever email it is. Obviously, it's connected to my parents' Google Calendar, which will be their email. Start time is, I put it in here as an expression. I just let AI deal with it themselves, which is double curly braces. Actually, let's just force this through. Okay, now we have everything inputted, all right? So it knows what to do with it. Now, this is good. So I took in double curly braces, $sign from AI with one bracket, apostrophe, start time. AI bot know when the start time is, they can decide, and they can decide when the end time is as well. Everything is the same. For the attendees, I put in nothing, but for the summary, I want AI to come up with its own summary, and you copy this right now. It's from AI. This is a very important prompt because it just lets AI determine what it is from itself. So it'll come up with a summary and they can choose its own summary for it and it'll decide from there. It's better than telling you what to do on a constant basis. So that is basically it. That is for the create event. The same thing happens for delete event. Same thing. When you're doing all these, just press $, type in calendar, create Google Calendar, and then you can choose any of these. All right, so create event will be create event, delete event will be this one, get event will be that one, and update event will be that one. Okay, just to let you know how to set this all up for yourself, just create these separate nodes for each one. Just let it know what tool to use when it's actually using it in the AI agent, right? But same thing applies for delete. Everything is, I chose the delete event calendar node. Same thing, put in your credential, same list. I chose from AI. This will be the event calendar. I put a little comma there. Just let it know that this is the event ID, if there is one. It will be once it creates an event, but this is when it actually created first. That is why we have to put the get event in there before it actually does a delete or an update, right? So you can copy that as well. Just copy and paste that. Get event is the exact same thing. From here, once you pull this in for the after, also using double curly braces, $ from AI, bracket, apostrophe, day before, comma, day before the date the user is requesting. Same thing applies for after, for anything before. We want to keep it in the same day, so AI knows to keep it within the same day. If I say July 27, it's not going to go off into some other day of the week. It's just going to be really confused. So you can just copy that down. You can just pause the video and copy that. Lastly is update event. Same thing. I chose a different node. Event ID will be from what you saw a second ago, is from AI, event ID, this is the event ID. From here, if there's any attendees, I'll put it there as well. Same thing. You can just copy that as well. And then the end date and start time and end time, it's all the same with from AI. I just want AI to do as much as possible for me, so this is the prompt I gave it. Once that's done, it actually outputted currently what it is right now. Your dinner plan with friends have been scheduled for tomorrow at 4:30. If you need any more assistance, let me know. Love Palmer AI, because that's the prompt I gave it. Now, set text, basically just want to manipulate the output. And the same thing goes. I take the input or the output from the last node, which is the ultimate assistant, which is right there. I made sure it comes out as text. If it changes to like poop, this will be poop, and that'll be the variable you're using. But for this one, I set it to text. And I told it which one to look for, which is the output from the previous node, and that is good to go. Email response, which be a Gmail node for, let me show you, Gmail. Click on that one, it'll be send a message. So it's right there, which will be the same one as this one right now. I renamed it to email response. Credentials to my parents' Gmail. Resources message, operation is send. 2 is the same email because it's going to my parents' email, which is a centralized location. There's no subject because I kept it as it is, but if you really want to do something there, you can just do it from AI as well, but I left it as blank because I don't really care for that. Email type is obviously text. Message will be from the sent text or the previous node. So I clicked on this, held it, and then dragged it over and put it in there. It's the exact same thing. I added an option because I don't want the n8n attribution there. If you like it there, that's perfectly fine, but I don't. So I turned it off. Turn it off. Execute step. Now it sends it into the email, which is right here. Boom. So no subject because I didn't put a subject line in there. But if you want to have one in there, you can go for it. That's perfectly fine. I left it blank, as I showed you right there. Lastly is a response in Telegram. So I have this set up for myself for these demo purposes, but I usually have it for my parents or someone else. But you can have a big string of a bunch of different people if you wanted to, but it all goes in sequential order. So you can put in credential, resources message, operation send message, same thing, put a chat ID, go into Telegram, go into search, get ID bot, and you get your ID right there, right? Put that in there. Your text will be the exact same thing. Go back to your set text, click, bring it over, boom, done. There you go. Execute step. Now I come back into my Telegram just to see that this has been confirmed, and I got the message. Your dinner plan with friends has been scheduled for 4:30, blah, 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 blah. So I actually have this set up for my parents, but for this demo, like I said, it's all going to me so you can see what this actually looks like. That is the whole automation. You can add in more and more people. All you gotta do is copy this entire thing, paste in everywhere, and have it all string back into the information extractor, as many people as you want. Like I showed you a second ago, I have it with 10 people. It's a lot, but super helpful for your entire family because everyone can get involved. That is the whole automation to ingest all the information and put it into a centralized calendar like I showed you a second ago. Now, let's set up your daily reminders. In order to automate this, I have it as a schedule. So like I said, how you can do this is click on a plus sign, schedule node, schedule trigger, which will be that one right there. Don't delete this because don't need it. So when I have this set up, I changed it to 9 a.m. because I asked my parents, when do you want to get reminders? She said every single day. So I have it set up at 9 a.m. every single day. Everything else still remains the same. So I can press play just to show what that looks like. This code node is basically just telling it what email to look for. Specifically, it's my parents, so their email is in here, and that is done. So you can just execute the step. You can copy that if you want. Now it goes into the email or the calendar just to see what it looks like, okay? From here, how you actually get this node is going to calendar, Google, get many events, okay? When you click on this, it'll be that exact same one. Double click on it. Once you have that open, make sure you have set it up to the proper credentials. In my case, it's my parents' calendar. Do it for anyone else. Again, it's get many for the operation, and that's the event for the resources. The list is their email. I turned off return all. Limit is 10. After is the now, and before is now plus 1 week because I want it to find for anything that's happening today to week going forward. That is basically the only thing I'm looking for there. Everything else still remains the same. So execute the step. And it pulled up all these events like I showed you a second ago, which is right here. So those are the 3 coming up for this week. And if there's more during the week, then it'll pull up all those events as well, right? So it looks like that. Now, once that is done, we got an output. I created another switch here just to tell it if there's any events to go down one direction, if there's none to go down a different direction. So as you can see, I created a routing rule. I renamed it. If it has events, it goes down this path. If there isn't, then it says no events, it goes down that path. And how you get this HTML link is coming back into the previous node, and it'll be right here. You just click that, hover, and bring it over, and you can get all the events for that specific calendar. So just understand, this is something I got confused with in the beginning, was that the HTML link, I actually thought the HTML link was for like, what do you call it? For one link was for each specific event. It's not. It's actually for this HTML link, it's for the entire calendar. So that's where I got confused in the beginning. You can test this out yourself, but that is what it looks like. So the same thing goes. If it does not exist and there's no HTML link, because that means there's no events in the calendar, then it'll output there's no events. Okay, so I can click on execute step. It'll go down the branch that says has events. There's 3 items. If there's none, it'll go down that branch, but that's not what's happening right now. Okay. And after that, there's a code node. So it goes down this branch. And the reason why I put this here is because I wanted to have the output look like it's legible. Before, when there wasn't this code node, everything was lowercase. Everything was like scattered in really weird ways. It wasn't really readable. So that's why I put this code node in here. In case you want to know how I got this, I just went on Claude. I told it what to do. I said that my problem was that the output was all like lowercase. It was all scattered into like one big clump. So I told it to separate it out, capitalize everything that is required to be capitalized, and it did that for me. I copied and pasted it into this code node and it fixed it. So that is what it looks like in the output, which looks better. Okay, so capital there, everything was lowercase like I said before. There's no hyphens. Everything was just all over the place. I want it to be separate to actually make it look legible. That is that. Lastly is the Telegram. So I have this set up for myself. Well, how you get this is the plus sign, then Telegram. And again, it's send a message. Where is it? Send a text message, which is right there. You'll get this node right here. Get the chat ID like I showed you a second ago. The message will be from the previous node. You can drag it into there. No markup. Everything else is still the same. I removed the n8n attribution because I don't want that. So let's execute that. Goes into my Telegram, which is right there. You can see it all right here. The code node, like I said a second ago, this would have all clumped together. There's no spaces, no enters, there's no dashes. Everything's lowercase. It just looked like garbage. That is why I use a code node to fix this up and make it look more clean. That is essentially what it was for. Now, once that is done, the last step is this one, another Gmail node, and this is for sending an email. How you get this is the plus sign, Gmail. This is to send a message, which is right there. You get this one specifically. You can rename it to send events email. Same credentials, resources message, send is operation, whichever email it is. Summary, I just typed it in. This is a fixed expression, which is your weekly event summary. That's what I wanted to put. Email type is text. Then the result would be the text from whatever I got, which is right here. Okay, here are the events for the week. Okay, that's what it looks like. And when it pushes it out, that's what it gets emailed through And let me show you as I execute this step. Now it's all done, got the output. Let's come back in here, refresh this page real quick. There we go. Pulls it all up, all the information that's required for the week. You can have more. If there's lots of people chipping in, then obviously this might get a little long. But again, this sends out reminders every single day because this is what the automation was created for when I had this set up, right? Every single day at 9 a.m., it sends out an email whether or not there's events, and if there's not, you'll still get the same response. If it goes down to no event one, I created a set node, and I put in the message as a string. If there's no events, there will be no events scheduled for this week. That's what it looks like. If there's no events. Actually, let me just show you what that actually looks like when I delete all of this. Okay, let's play this again as if it's 9 a.m. already. Code node pulls up all the events. There's no events, so it goes down this direction. So there's no events. I put in message as a string. There's no events scheduled this week. So play that. Goes into my Telegram as well. Let me put that for myself. Same message, pull that in, bring that over here, send it over, turn off the append n8n, let's execute that step. I can go into my Telegram, just confirm, no events scheduled this week. Lastly is the same send Gmail email node. There's no emails, it gets sent to the centralized calendar or centralized email account. There you go. No events scheduled this week. That is basically it. That is how this entire thing works. Again, if you want this entire JSON file for yourself so you don't have to build this out on your own, you can just join my free community. The link is in the description below. Join right in. You can download for yourself and you can get it for yourself and paste it in, and it's all set and ready to go. That is how it's all done. The last thing I forgot to mention was that if you want all your family members to email it into a central location, this will be a trigger node as well for any email that is received. So how you get that is Gmail. Scroll all the way to the bottom for the trigger. There's only one trigger, and this is on message received because that will be a trigger. So when you click on that, it's always looking for, connected to the actual Gmail account that you want, it's always looking for new events every single minute, and the event is message received. And I turned off simplify. So whenever anyone in your family, yourself, your parents, your uncle, your aunts, your brothers, sisters, they can all just email it into the specific email that you have set up. It'll take all that information to do the exact same thing rather than doing it through Telegram. And there you go, guys. That is basically the entire automation in itself. Like I said, you can expand this, you can change it up, you can delete things if you want, but it's super easy for you to do. Everyone will get a notification every single day if there's any events coming up during the week. And this is super helpful for myself, especially for my parents. If you have anyone in your family that requires this, use it to their advantage because it helps out a lot. So if you like this kind of content, then hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell because that helps me out a lot. And I want to make sure that I can help you guys become better at n8n and using AI to your advantage because this is what everyone wants today. And this will make us more useful in the future, especially when it comes to looking for work because every employer out there right now wants people that are knowledgeable with AI. So if you have any other questions, tell me down in the comments below. Until then, I'll catch you in the next video.